The next issue is that of interviews. When I say interviews, I mean video interviews. The issue there, particularly when it comes to recorded questions, is you can come up with a script very easily with AI, because you will get the questions in advance. You could put them into ChatGPT and get some really well thought out, structured sort of question responses that you can just read out loud to people. You can kind of tell sometimes, because they'll sort of be looking off to the side a little bit, obviously reading a screen, but sometimes it's very hard to tell, particularly if they just memorize the response. So it may not be indicative of their own thinking. Again, it may just be them reading out loud. And even with two-way interviews, quite surprisingly, actually, there are things you can do. Text to speech and speech to text. It allows you to just record things that are happening in real time, like an interview's responses and questions, and then it can come up with responses literally in real time. So even if you're talking to the person, remotely via video, there's no guarantee they're not using AI in real time, that they're not actually just using ChatGPT to help structure responses even while they're talking to you. That seems really draconian and rude to do, because you can imagine doing that to someone in the real world. But it happens. And it's an advantage for sure, because they can get a really good, even if it's just like a template for an idea, automatically. Very little effort, very easy to do, because obviously the sound that you're making is coming to the computer, so it can be captured, can be analyzed, and can be used to make interview responses. So even remote interviews, and particularly telephone interviews, and of course especially one-way asynchronous interviews, that method of assessment is vulnerable. It isn't finished, I would say, like application forms and CVs. Like, it's not obsolete, but it's something you have to definitely keep in mind, that people have the ability, will, and are using AI to cheat.